Okay, so this is in the math book, Chapter 9, Lesson 1. Our essential question is, how can I use operations to model real-world fractions? And this lesson is hands-on using models, so I'm going to show you how you can access the models on the computer. A unit fraction has a numerator of 1. It is one of the equal parts of the whole. Fractions that have the same denominators are called like fractions. You can use models to add like fractions. So I'd like to encourage you to read through and make sure you understand this, but I'm not going to read it for you. I want you to read through and solve these, and then I want to help you with when you get to the practice. So you're looking at how to add this, and we've talked about it, but I want to show you thoroughly on the computer what you can do to solve this. So we've got 1/6 plus 4/6. And we've talked about it in class, so you should see the answer pretty quickly. But I want to show you some resources you have. The games only has fact practice for this, so I wouldn't encourage you to use that. But if you go to Tools, this little green box with the different shapes in it, I can click on that and it opens up a new window. And I did have to download Flash Player in order for these to work. But you'll see a tool that says fraction tiles. I can select that, and then remember the problem was, where'd it go? 1/6 plus 4/6. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to use my sixths, and there's 1/6, and then I'm adding 1, 2, 3, 4. And just to make it pretty, I'm going to line them up as much as I can. So I've got 1/6, and I'm adding 4/6 to it. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/6. And you notice because I'm dealing with the same units, the denominator isn't changing. So it's not going to change when I write my answer to my problem. So over here, 1/6 plus 4/6, as I use the models to show, is, and I can even use this as my fraction bar if I want, 5, 6, although that leaves me a little less room for down here. So then I want to do 4/8 plus 2/8. I can go back to my manipulatives and I can set up four eighths plus 2/8 and count those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 eighths. And that's all there is to that. The table shows the sums of several like fractions. Study the pattern in the table. Write a rule that you can use to add like fractions without using models. Okay, so what is it that's happening when we're doing this to get us our answer? You're just going to write out, not a math equation, but you're going to write in words what's happening there. And it's something that we've talked about several times in class. And then you can use what you did here to solve this. And then down here, it's asking you to write a fraction as a sum of unit fractions. Then write an equation to decompose the fraction in a different way. Okay. So what it's asking for when it says write a fraction as a sum of unit fractions, that's basically what they've done here. So they've written out this in the unit fraction. So when it has 1/4, that's a unit fraction. So they've written it out, the fraction as a sum of the unit fractions. So like just for clarification, if I was doing 5/10, I would write 1/10 5 times, and that would be the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be the same as 5/10 written as unit fractions. That's all it's asking for here. Now, when it says decompose the fraction in a different way. It's just asking you to come up with an addition equation using two different parts than 1 or just 5. So what other two numerators could I put with this denominator that would end up equaling the same? That's all it's asking for. When you get to the word problems, they do need to be written as fractions. So you're going to have an equation, an addition equation, and the whole is going to be the denominator. So how many total is going to be your denominator. And then the parts of the whole that are eaten are your numerators for this equation. This one is a basic equation. This one is a little bit more tricky because they've given you extra information, and the question helps you eliminate out which piece is the extra information that you don't need to solve it. But it's still a similar, you're going to have two fractions, and you're going to find the sum of those. And the whole number, or the whole unit, will be the denominator. And then the parts of the unit will be the numerator to solve those. So this is what you should be working on today, and you can do, I would suggest spend half an hour on this. If you can get through these pages, awesome. If you can get through the homework, that's even better. If you finish all of that, you can go ahead and look at the games and the worksheets. There are some challenge activities in there as well.